Alright guys, what did I say yesterday in my SUI video? Well, I did say that this was probably going to be another higher low, and I wasn't sure that we were going to clear the $4.90 I think range. I think we were just under the green line if I'm not mistaken, guys. Now, like I said, I thought it was going to run in the near term, and boy did it run. I mean, we're up here. You can see that this volume profile here is just, it's almost nothing. When it finally broke, this $4.90, the volume drops off massively. So it has, room to run now. I think it's going to go to all-time highs once again. Maybe not today. It's only, let's see, it's what, $5.36. So it's about 18 cents away from its all-time high at the moment. And will it come today? Probably not. There's only a few more hours in today. Never say never, though. It could, but I don't believe it's going to do it today. I think it could do it over the weekend, though. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday. We're going to see maybe a little bit of resistance here, right at $5.29 or 30 cents on a daily, time frame resistance. So it's not as strong as a weekly, resistance in these green, lines that I have. So let's see, guys. I do think SUI is going to make new all-time highs very soon, though. Now I want to look at the RSI and Stochc RSI once again today. Now I have this on a daily time frame at the moment. I should have switched to weekly, but anyways, pointed basically to the upside with the RSI, and it looks like the Stochc RSI wants to go up as well. Both are in, they have room to grow in a good zone here, as long as they're in these, between these lines here where it's colored. That's in normal territory, guys. So on the weekly time frame, let's take a look at it. A little bit overbought here on the RSI, kind of just floating in and out, as we talked about last night. Now it looks like it wants to curve up here on the Stochc RSI, so that is okay. Let me go back now to the 4-hour time frame. It is overbought basically on the Stochc RSI, but it's kind of going sideways. So let's see what happens. It's just, it's been sideways for a few candles, but the RSI in still good territory. Looks like it's kind of going sideways as well. But it does have room to go up, of course. Now on the lower time frame, 1 hour looks good, actually in the middle basically here, between these lines. Like I said, it does have a little bit more room it can go, but it is also a little bit pointed to the upside, and the Stochc RSI is also pointed to the upside, and it does have room to grow as well. I mean, 15-minute time frame, kind of a low time frame to look at. Just looks like it bounced off this lower side of this bottom, of this normal range, and it looks like it wants to go up. Also, this is slightly pointed up, it looks like, the RSI. So all in all, guys, if I'm looking at all these time frames, the 15, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, it's only this indicator, Stochc RSI, is overbought basically. Daily, still good. Weekly, okay, this RSI here is a little bit overbought. All in all, guys, it still looks like it wants to run. Let me get rid of these indicators now. But yeah, I would say SUI is probably going to go up and break all-time highs before we're going to see any slowdown, I believe. Now, the only pattern that I can see is on a 1 hour time frame, basically. We do have this flag that's formed, so we do have to make a decision basically in the next hour or so, whether it's going to break to the upside or to the downside. Now, if it breaks to the upside, let's put this here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go to new all-time highs, guys, at about $5.45. It's not huge, and it's just barely breaking the all-time high. But again, this is the 1 hour time frame, and I mean, if it breaks to the downside, though, guys, here's the other, so it's going to go down to about 490. So let's see. what happens. But like I said, the RSI shows me that it really wants to run more. So I would expect it to go up first before going down. So yeah, like I said, about $5. Well, now I've moved it a little bit. Oh yeah, it was back here. So let's just say 545. Close enough. Maybe even 550. Somewhere up here. You know, this should be the target. Now let's take a quick look at Bitcoin here. You can see that basically today we are almost getting a bullish engulfing candle. This needs to come up a few $100s more really, about $300 more, and then we'll get a bullish engulfing candle from yesterday. So that would be really nice. Now we still have a little bit of time today, several hours still, so it's very possible that we could see this happen. Now yesterday, like I said, I was getting worried. I think we were somewhere around here yesterday when I made the videos, and yeah, it looks like we almost caught support on this line here. I mean, we were only like a few dollars away really, maybe $20 or so, but anyways guys, looks like we pretty much caught support at 91.1 basically, and yeah, we're getting that bounce. Now we have gotten rejected today, basically by 95.6. We didn't quite make it up to this Fibonacci here at 96.150. So let's see what happens, guys. Tonight basically, you know, starts the weekend, so I don't think there's going to be too much action on the weekend. But let's see. I think we'll probably consolidate between these two lines, and probably Monday try to continue up. Now Ethereum, on the other hand, guys, has taken a little bit more of a hit recently, and is not faring so well like Bitcoin actually. You can see that it is holding on to the Fibonacci level. It has retested this today actually. Now, the only good thing I can see is it didn't have such a wick like yesterday down into this Fibonacci. It just barely wicked into it. You know, if I zoom in, you'll see it a little bit better. So, yeah, you know, that is good. But we do need to start working our way back up into this range again. We need to get above 33.13, like where we were for many days before, guys. You can see we kind of consolidated here. Now we did dip down into this, you know, region here where we are right now, but it was just a quick dip. So don't want to spend too long here. You know, we need to get back in this range and start working our way back up. Now, taking a look at the total market cap, guys, it's similar to Bitcoin on its, you know, daily candles. It's almost a bullish engulfing candle here, you know, right here from the previous day. So we also almost went up to the 3.28 trillion mark. We're at about the same height we were yesterday, you know, where it got rejected basically. So yeah, I mean, it needs to start working its way back up to 3.28 trillion. You know, overtake that, and then we can worry about 3.62 trillion next. Now, if we take a look at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, guys, it's actually crossing the 1.34 trillion, you know, line here. Yesterday we were below it, and we did actually close below it, but it looks like we're going to close above it today, so that is a good sign, guys. Keep in mind this is a weekly time frame resistance though. Actually, it's a support right now as we're above it. But this is kind of the wrong time to look on it, or look at it, you know. So basically you should be looking at this on a weekly time frame, not a daily time frame like we are. But the longer the candle, you know, over these lines, the better. So anyways, let's see what happens now, guys. But yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to go too far below 1.32 trillion. There is quite a bit of support here. You know, probably on daily time frame we could put another, you know, line here. But anyways, guys, let's take a quick look at the dominance. Now the dominance is actually looks like it still wants to go up. It wants to follow this line, and that is not a good sign, guys. So yeah, it looks like it's going to try to form this W pattern. You know, if it breaks 59.16, guys, we're in trouble. Serious trouble. So technically, you know, that would take us pretty far up. You know, it probably would actually take us to new highs. I'm not going to measure it though, guys. It's just, you know, we'll take a look at it when it gets to that point. If it gets up here to this neckline, we may measure this, but let's just wait and see, you know, what's in store. So This is the daily time frame. So basically, today it really hasn't gone too far, between its top and its bottom. Now, right now, it is kind of getting a push. But yeah, I mean, it's not a large candle today. Compared to the previous days, I mean, this is kind of a tiny candle, and we're almost done with today. Now, talking about liquidations, basically, it's not that much. It's 317 million, so it's still not billions. So, yeah, still okay. I mean, Bitcoin is just kind of going sideways. But today, more shorts are being wrecked than longs, so that's actually good to see, in my opinion. And yeah, if we take a quick look at the altcoin season index, guys, I refreshed this right before the video. It was at 51. So yeah, we slightly went down. And guys, that's pretty much due to this dominance. And, it's just trying to push up right now. So again, I don't know how often this is updated as well. Just have to kind of wait and see. But we are still above these two peaks, which, my theory was that we would pretty much maintain these two peaks. Now, we did kind of dip a couple of times under it really quickly. But for the most part, we've been above, these two peaks, which is, good to see in my opinion. Now, this is kind of a pleasant surprise in my opinion. We are down at 50. Now, this is kind of a big surprise. Like for me, I didn't expect to cool down so much. Now, I know yesterday I did say I was starting to get a little bit nervous that we were going to break 91.1, but I think a lot of people were feared by that. Dropping below 90K was a true fear. So today at a 50, which is fine with me. If we stay at 50 for a while, that's, it gives us time to cool down. And however, I don't believe this is going to be 50 tomorrow, just by the way that Bitcoin, is working its way up today. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of a nice little bounce all the way from 91.1 to where we're at right now. I mean, 94.7. So yeah, I just don't expect that we're going to stay at 50. Probably, my guess is somewhere between 55 and 60 is the next stop for this Fear and Greed Index. Pi cycle top indicator, guys, still quite far from crossing. I can zoom in here. But yeah, it is curving up, but it's going to take time, guys. So it's still, I would say, at least 6 months away. Now, next week, guys, we do have some economic data to really look at. On Monday, we have the consumer inflation expectations from New York Fed. That's important. Now, Tuesday, we do have PPI. That's super important. Wednesday, we have CPI. And we also have New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. And we do have a couple of FOMC members speaking. So that's going to be kind of a big day. Now, Thursday, we have jobless claims, Philadelphia manufacturing. We also got retail sales. We have a speaker here, Williams. Yeah, I mean, core retail sales also. These are all pretty big as well. Now, Friday, there's not much going on, so that's kind of good. We kind of get a break at the end of the week. But, yeah, next week is going to be fairly big, guys. Monday, small economic data, I would say. Tuesday, a little bit bigger, but Wednesday is probably the biggest day. So, Thursday is, maybe I would say comparable to Tuesday. But anyways, yeah, watch Wednesday for sure. But, most of the days next week have something important. Now, due to the disastrous non-farm payrolls today, guys, we have 97% believing that we're not going to get a cut this month, which, yeah, I don't think we're going to get a cut either. I've been saying that all along. And today just further, push that incentive, basically, that we're not going to cut this month. Now, I do believe March, June, September, and December probably will get cuts. That is just my opinion. That's my guess. I think we're going to see better CPI numbers and PPI numbers and PC, PE, all of these numbers. So they're probably going to look at that and cut, I believe. Now, we have still like 2 months before March. Anything can happen. So let's hope that we get better economic numbers. But I do believe we will probably cut in March. You know, if we don't, maybe in May, and then June, and then September and December. So I still think there's going to be 4 cuts on the table. Now, the market believes 1. So let's see who's right. Now, this is a beautiful sight to see after we saw so much red the last couple of days. You know, and yeah, I mean, there's just, it's not hard to be green when you've had so much red lately either. But none of these are really super green. Pretty much like, I think yesterday, everything was like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5% red. These are all 2, 3, 4, 5% green. So basically, you're just taking back what you lost yesterday almost. Now, there are a couple of outliers, of course, like Phantom, Algo, SUI, you know. So, yeah, that's nice to see. And, you know, if you want to stake your coins, guys, go to Coinondo. You know, for example, type in Bitcoin. You will see a list here. Basically, they give you the amount of days you have to stake. They give you limits. Be careful. Read everything. You don't want to get stuck in a position, guys, that you can't get out of if you really want to sell. Or if the bull market comes to an end, you know, hey, you need to take your profit. So be careful. I'm personally looking for flexible or 30 days. You know, I've done 60 with BNB just because of the mega drop lately. Now, I don't think the bull run is going to end in 60 days anyways, but you never know, guys. It's a risk. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.